Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager 24 episode 35. We've just wrapped up the Australian Open and had a very strong performance from Martina King. Very strong. But we come back with bad news that Alexa Noel, who's already struggling probably the most of anyone. Kayla Cross has definitely dropped in the rankings, but Kayla Cross was lower than the other two. Alexa Noel was in or around the top 100, as was Emilio Nava, and now Noel has picked up a pretty significant injury, but fortunately the literal most minor version of the injury you could have. It's a herniated disc. Been there, done that. Holy crap. Probably amongst the most pain I've ever experienced in my life. And it's going to be 3 weeks though, so that is far less severe. I still have issues from mine, and it's been more than 20 years. So to have three weeks, good on you. Well, after turning down the junior girls once again last year and sitting that season out, we're into a new year. They having myself already turning it down, they have not offered the junior girls this season, but they've offered all three of the other U.S. positions, including the one I wanted most, and on a 3-year deal. So we are going to take over the pro women for the next 3 seasons. And of course, one of the key reasons for this is to continue the ascendancy of Martina King towards the top of the rankings, and when appropriate, not before then, but when appropriate, select her for the national level. It's early, but it's starting to feel like this might be one of those days. Second injury in a week, this time Kayla Cross. Just inflammation, so just some swelling is all she's suffering from. It's extremely minor. It's just worrying the trend, right? We've played 1 week and I've picked up 2 injuries. I'm nervous because we had a stretch before where a lot of bad things happened back to back to back, and this is already rivaling that in terms of frequency. So we're just getting started. Fingers crossed we're okay and this was it, but I just have this nasty feeling that we could be in for a string of injuries. So trying to pick up where we left off with our good form and continuing on, I have won one of these tournaments. I've only been to one of these tournaments, but the number 1 seed is Emerson Jones, 40th ranked player. Definitely not going to be an easy one to overcome. That keeps us out of the top seed. We are just the 3 seed, actually, as Klugman is also here. We certainly have an approachable path through the quarterfinals, but I would expect the semifinals and the finals to be amongst the top players that we're going to have to go through. Alicia Parks even won't necessarily be an easy one. And we're literally out in the first round of Fiona Crawley, 3-6-5-7. That is going to hurt the momentum that we have built. -8 on the winners. Kept it clean, just a -2, but we were forced into a lot more mistakes, which is weird because we don't. That's a rarity for us. We make mistakes, but we don't get forced into them very often. We tend to play really, really clean. -8. Nava loses in the round of 16 to a 75 level tournament. That's actually kind of a weak performance there. The balneotherapy room is now complete. Early February, we're down to 50K on the balance right now, but we're on path to now have a little bit better balance monthly. And if we can get back to winning ways, the now 2 weeks since the end of the Australian Open have gone very poorly, but if we can find some consistency and success, there's no reason to think that we won't actually carry a positive balance over time now. Talk about an impact. King, morale drops to correct, from beaming to correct with 1 first round exit. She's also just fresh, not even top. Form's still there, but is it though? Round 1 exit for Alexa Noel, which I'm really surprised considering we were injured that she even tried to enter a tournament. She was declined for the last one, so maybe that was just a withdrawal. Oh, she has entered recovery phase, so maybe that's why she didn't drop out of that one. Nava out in the first round. Cross makes it to the round of 16 in a Pro 70. That was it for the team this week. Nava definitely doing better in this tournament. Makes it to the quarterfinal, loses in 3 sets. So over the last 3 weeks, I've managed to make some progress in development for King. Stamina is now an 18, so she's got 4 18s and 2 16s in that department, and 2 17s and an 18 in the mental. So obviously very, very strong. But where I've also made gains was we got the form back very quickly, so we've got the +2s on everything once again. Over the 3 weeks, I've been able to train that back up. But also I've been able to bring surf power to that double digit, just landmark. Hitting a landmark, that's all it is. It's not a big deal, but it's a 10. It's double digits. It means something to me, even if it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. And we're down to just 3 attributes left that remain below that mark. They will be the next focus, the next target, beginning with timing. I think timing is the most important of the 3, and then control, and then drop shot can come last. So this will now be my 3rd attempt at a Pro 160 or 125 tournament technically. The first attempt was a win. The second attempt moments ago was a first round exit. Third attempt sees us coming in as the 1 seed. Please, come on, Martina King. We're in the top 50 now, by the way. 49th currently in the rankings. We've got to at least get through a couple rounds, otherwise we're going to have some real issues. And we do get through the first round pretty comfortably. Nava out in the round of 32, but Cross is at least making some progress. Very comfortable second round against a pretty decent opponent. Huge advantage in winners. The unforced errors was only a slight advantage, and the forced errors was only a slight advantage. We just hit winners. Cross also progressing well in her own tournament, lower level. It's weird that we've already passed Cross when Cross was much better than us late last season when we signed her. 6-4, 6-2 in the next round, and we continue marching right on through the tournament. And Cross is also into the semifinal. That's going to be great for her form. So into the semifinals, and what we've got is an easy semifinal match against a wild card, or at least you would think it's going to be an easy one. Then we've got a qualifier at 137 and the number 2 seed, Korneva, who is 60th in the rankings. That could be a pretty dramatic final. Got to get through this one first, and it took 3 sets, but we do manage to get through. It's still only 154 points played. I think we're going to be just fine on stamina going into the final. +6 on the winners, -3 on unforced errors, which still is not bad. I mean, over 154 points, 10% of the time we made mistakes. That's pretty minimal. The forced errors was a pretty healthy advantage of a +9. Cross also wins her semifinal, so both will play in a final. Yes, Cross, it's about time. And it is Korneva, so we do have a big final ahead of us. I was kind of going fingers crossed that it would be the other opponent so we could just sim and take the win. But now we're looking at a challenge. We're definitely looking at a challenge. Balanced match with the form, giving us just about an advantage. It's the first time they've played each other. Korneva wins 65%, so she's a very consistent winner, roughly 2 out of every 3 matches played. Meaning she makes some pretty deep runs into tournaments, but she lost in the round of 64 in her last tournament, so she's not doing everything particularly well. That was the Doha Open. Beautiful court area. Loving the color scheme on this one, and we do begin with a huge stamina advantage in this one. She's already at a hair under 50%, maybe 48 to begin the match, and so she's going to be lacking accuracy for the entire thing. Outside of us being a little mentally challenged right now, troubled to start this one. We're carrying every other advantage and should be winning. Already looking good for a maybe break scenario in this first game. As it's 30-40. She didn't even move on that one. That was only a couple steps over. She just anticipated it wrong, thinking it was going to go the other way, and just froze when it went that opposite direction. Can hit with some power, though, as we've just seen there as she draws level. Gets us to deuce. Oh, we could have gone to that left corner of that last point and chose not to do so. Put ourselves in a really bad spot as a result, and we do it again. She's attacking the net with consistency, ends up winning the game. And I think that was very much tactically shoot yourself in the foot scenario on those last, what, 3 points in a row? So we lose that first game, but clearly showing that we've got the potential to break her on the return. We win our first game on serve, but didn't dominate it. It was we did give up a couple points in that one and making more mistakes here. Trailing 2-1. Oh, that's looks like it caught the back of the line. That looks like it caught the back of the line. That one does catch the back of the line. We're flirting with the back of the line there and not getting too many calls going our way on that. 2 games all though so far. Here again we've got that chance to break, but trailing 40-30 at the moment and lose the game. Nice one in the corner. We're not dominating every game we serve, so you know there's definite play, and our opponent now has discomfort. She's picked up a minor injury that's going to feed the advantage even more. Right now it hasn't translated to anything, but I think we're headed towards an inevitable victory. It's just a matter of time on the break. There hasn't been a single game where we haven't threatened her, and with service there's been a few games where she hasn't threatened us at all, but it is going to come down to a tiebreaker. It's 6 games all. On to the tiebreak. And we win the first point. Very important first point. And we'll now serve the next 2. Oh, great serve there. But she returns it with so much power, so much ferocity, that it is putting us on the back foot, even though we've served this point. But we attack the net and squeeze over to get that one and get the unplayable ball to get the winner. 2 love so far in the tiebreak. Good job pulling her back to that corner. Now starting to work her the opposite direction. But not with enough power, not with enough accuracy to really pull her wide. Our opponent's dangerous because of her power. She is definitely able to hit the ball hard enough that we can't react and get to it. But we seem to have advantages in every other aspect of the game. Good serve there. Put us on the front foot. Made that an easy point. 5-1. Should be headed for an opening set victory. I'd like it to be more comfortable in the second set, based on how tired she is and that added discomfort. Nice serve. Nice served. She's clawing back. She got both of her points there. It's 6-3. It's set point again, but another good serve from us. Doesn't result in an ace, but it does get us at least a little bit on the front foot here. It's starting to kind of level out on this rally, and that's unforced. That was very much not a forced. Yeah, that last one was very much not a forced error. It was an unforced error, and we start second set with service. Should get us on the front foot pretty quickly, but we get broke in the first game, and we're gonna break her right back. Or we're not. Love 40, and we didn't break her. Now we're starting to battle back, and finally we do break her, and we're starting to take control of the match after losing the first 2 games. We had won 3 straight, nearly made it 4 straight. Bounce right back with the service win. We're going to be up 5-3. Yes, we are. And there we go. She's stressed. She's tired. She's got discomfort. We've got every advantage. That seemed to be the better player anyway, besides the power. And there you go. 7-6, 6-3. We got the win. And Cross has won her final as well, so we get a double this week from our team. That's got to pay out decently well. For Cross, it's 8,000. For King, 36K. February had not gone well, but we are right back to just about a positive balance with a few, well, not a few days left. It's February. It's the shortest month. It's 4 weeks straight. And here comes some new equipment supply offers in for King, Noel, and Nava. It's a World Cup week, but we're not going to have to go through the qualifiers, or at least I assume we're not going to have to go through the qualifiers. Yeah, I'm not getting prompted with anything. So, King with the renegotiation request. We already dropped it on the last one. I'll take a 2% reduction. It's going to make her upset, but she'll have to deal with it. King is headed into new territory. That territory being our ranking is so high that we are now mandated to play in the big tournaments. No choice, no option in the matter, which means the consistency of King is going to drop because the talent that we see is going to force us into losses that we're not used to having. It is going to hurt the form. It's going to be much harder to maintain the form now that we are into this stage. Now, of course, the prize money is significantly better. The points that are there is significantly better. So if we have even a little success, things are going to go well for us. But the form is going to be tricky now. I tried to hold off on the sponsors to see if anything new would come in, but we're now into the final 4 days of this one, and it is what it is. We've got to go ahead and accept what has been offered to us. Marketing value for King is now 2.5 stars, so she has risen significantly. We only have one offer for rackets. Season bonus is 58K for 20 tournament participations and a round of 64 to Grand Slam to earn that. Getting 30th in the rankings is almost 4K. The signature itself, that's 2 seasons for that. I'm going to take a new racket this time that has more positive than negative, so at least we're gaining a +1 overall topspin, underspin, drop shot, which are not priorities for me. And -1 to forehanded backhand is not great, but it's easy enough to overcome with a little bit of training. You add one more point in forehanded backhand, and we're offsetting the loss. The outfits, big time offers coming in on this one. And actually more offers have come in. We have additional offers here. Okay, so we have some offers with some real money to them. So signature and bonus, max of 250. But if you come over here, the latest offers, massive increase, massive increase. Let's see what the A6 one has. As it's got the best bonuses. 15th in the rankings does not look easy, but win a title. What title? Title of anything? It doesn't say Grand Slam. It just says title. I think we're gonna win that at some point. That's 353,000. Grand Slam. Semi-final does not look easy, but the tournament registration or participation is definitely, that's 500K. Let's see what else we have here. That's worse. You could rule that one out. And we're talking significantly smaller here. 30th for that bonus, and it's not a big bonus. Round of 64 though, those are achievable ones, but 250K is all. And you go back to that first one, there's 250K there just for the tournaments. So you throw in the others, it's well worth it to take the higher offer. First major tournament that's not a slam, which of course we just had the first of those as well. It's Indian Wells Open, so 1000 level. It's the highest thing outside of the 4 slams that exist. Sabalenka is a round of 32 potential matchup. She got a first round bye, so she's only got to win once to get there, and she's got an easy second round to make that happen. For us, we have a difficult first round and a difficult second round to try to make that happen, but it's possible. First round opponent I'm not too worried about, but we will play the second round live if we happen to get there. It's balanced match. We are the slight outsider on this one. Our opponent has a very strong serve and is very good at the net and has no real weaknesses, though she's not very aggressive or consistent and doesn't have the greatest court coverage, so maybe. She kicked our butts. This is what I'm worried about. You go to a big tournament and get beat in the first round and see your morale drop and see your form drop and then have to try to bounce back from that. Higher level tournaments, higher requirements, mandatory tournaments are going to be a real problem for us. It's easy to go into a slam and lose the first round and be like, we're just not at that level yet. Or get to the third round and be like, wow, that was amazing. Not much to lose. But you go into anything else, even a tournament like this, and she might be a little upset. She might have a little drop in form. even though expectations realistically are low. That still pays 25,000 though, and that's the big change. So King, obviously we've got some challenges ahead of us to try to maintain form and morale with some bigger tournaments, but the finances, it'll certainly help in that department. Nava and Cross are both making their way through 100 level tournaments though, each losing in the quarterfinal. Cross had some recent success, saw her ranking rise. Noelle, coming off that injury, has not done anything, is just getting back. She has actually dropped below Cross in the rankings. Nava is somehow stable. We do have some tournaments coming. He will have some points from that last tournament with a decent run there to around a 16. We'll see if that helps him bounce back at all. But we're at 90k right now with a little bit left in the month. We're not too far off now, about 15k from another even balance for a month, and that is without a slam during the middle of it, which those are kind of the real tests, right? Right now we can tell that if a slam comes along, we can make a profit. Can make a profit. Without a slam, that's the other one. If we could break even on the months without slams and then make a profit on the months with slams, we're talking about not only breaking even for the year, but making that little bit of money, investing a little bit into infrastructure, and just slowly tweaking that balance in the direction that's going to make it positive, or closer to neutral, but it'll make, with winnings, make it positive and see us permanently improving and being able to save up money, get better staff, get that missing piece that we have right now of missing 3 physios. And I'd love to take care of that. That's obviously staff wise, that's the next direction to go, is to get the physios signed on, because as much as I want to improve the staff that we have, we straight up lack physios. Like, we don't even have that covered. So that would be the most beneficial thing. And that would be the next direction. I'm not yet wanting to do that, right? I'd like to see us inch our way forward with the balance before we start hurting the balance more by having signing bonuses, and especially having monthly salary for 3 more staff members. It's just going to drive us further into debt. I actually want to get out of the spiral first. Not all the way out, but in a much better state than we are now. We're getting into a better state, but we've definitely not covered things off just yet. King now 44th in the rankings, and is she a top 40 player, top 50 player? I'm still going to go with no, because the form is what really carries her. And the tactics. Is she a top 100 player now? I'm going to go with hell yeah. Technically she's not. She is not in the top 100 technically. There are juniors with better technical attributes than what she has. Her first attribute, topspin, to get in the green is a 13 now. And we get a +3 with our current setup. But that doesn't make it good. +3 there makes it a 16. And yeah, that's a competitive number with the form bonus. She's 3.5 stars overall. 3.5 stars does not put you in the top 50. 3.5 stars does put you in the top 100. And that's the thing. We've signed other players. Kayla Cross was just outside of the top 100. She's 2.5 stars. Noelle, 3 stars. Was right outside of the top 100. And Nava was just inside of the top 100. Career best ranking, 100th. 3 stars. 95th. 3 stars. Cross, 181. Hasn't been any higher. 184 right now. So we are actually keeping Cross consistent near the biggest, best point she's ever been. King is the best player we now have. Montgomery was 3.5 stars, I think. So yes, top 100, maybe top 75. Not quite top 50. But our ranking's not inflated too much. The big thing though is she has 11 titles. She's won 11 tournaments. Because I keep her in tournaments where she's good enough to win, consistently, but not every, and it keeps her form high, right? We are making a strategic decision to work our way up gradually and not put her in a scenario where she's going to struggle to compete. She's starting to get into that scenario, though, with the demands of mandatory tournaments. That can hurt her. That can absolutely hurt her. But technically, she's still got a long ways to go. With bonuses, though, with the form bonuses, everything's a 10 or better. With the form bonuses, I'd say we're about a 12 in the technical. Realistically, though, we're a 10 right now. She's got a 10. She's got a handful of 11s, but she's got those couple 8s and 1 9, and she's got that 1 13 to kind of offset that a bit. She's a 10, approaching 11, adding a +2 on top of it. So she's a 12, approaching a 13 in technicals regularly. That's getting competitive, but that's definitely not good yet. But with bonuses, speed's a 20. Stamina's a 20. Focus is a 20. Focus only has a +1, not because she's missing something on the mental side. It's because she literally can't have more. And actually the speed agility bonus that are +3s, giving us a +1 for footwork and balance, is actually hurting me right now because they can't have +3s. I might want to change your shoes. That's going to do it for this episode, though. Really happy that the injury thing didn't start to spiral and get real problematic. Cross is playing well. King is playing well. Noel's recovered from the injury, and hopefully we can get Noel going again. And Nava's doing okay, having an okay stretch, and we haven't seen some form drop off from King after our first round exit, so we're looking okay. We've got more tournaments coming mid-March. We're having a good run with things so far this season, and looking at that web compared to what we've been seeing with others, right? We just saw somebody who had net play and serve right here. Her return, her forehand, her backhand was all just below that, and then her court coverage and aggressiveness and consistency were down here. That's where I'm at. It's just the court coverage that is really good, and the other things that are coming along. But that serve, return, forehand, backhand, that is not elite. We just expand that web by keeping good form. That's it. That's the main thing that's carrying us here, because others losing form, it's a totally different matter. By the way, doubles, only a 6. You've got to compete in doubles to make that happen. I wish this game had doubles outside of just the World Cup. It doesn't make sense that that's the only time. Even if it were only at the slams, doubles should be there. Should be a part of the game. I'd love to see that in Tennis Manager 25. Okay, said that was going to end this episode, so that's going to do it for this one. Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.